Hey everyone, it's Veronica. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna try to do a tutorial on a hardcover journal. This is the journal that I shared a few months ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I did this sometime at the end of last year. And this is hardcover, and it's traveler's notebook style with the elastic. And see, it has the journals. So I do have a in-depth flip through of this. I have a video on my channel, but mostly it has some inserts in here on the elastic. So I have one insert for each elastic on here. You can put more. And I'm gonna try to do the cover on video for another one that I want to do. So here's the back, the spine, and the front. And this is 5, almost 6 by 9. So this is oh, and the spine is 1 3/4 inches. The paper is all 8.5 by 11 that I just folded in half. Well, mostly all. There are some pages that are they're a little bit smaller because it's kind of like a sort of like a junk journal memory keeping style. And so yeah, some of the sheets are a bit smaller, but I used 8.5 by 11 for like these white sheets. Alright, so I'm gonna try to do the tutorial on the cover, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to go into the paper today, but I'll try to do at least the cover. And so what you're gonna need for the cover, I used chipboard, and this is medium weight chipboard. I got mine online. I think you can get it. I've heard that you can get it like at Michael's, but I've never seen it. But I've never looked for it either. So I used one, I think, yeah, I used one 12 by 12. And actually, yeah, it's gonna be perfect because I'm actually gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna be using this as my size reference. This is just one of those mini composition notebooks, and these are 5 by 7. So I'm gonna be using the height as 7, and I'm gonna be adding 1/4 inch on each side. So it's gonna be 7.5, and then this side is 5, but I'm actually going to be cutting it down to 4.5 so that the cover is 5 inches, but the inserts will be 4.5, if that makes sense. Or actually, it's going to be 4 3/4. Okay. You're going to need your ruler, something to mark with. Your cutter, I'm going to be using this. Then for the spine, you can use, I used canvas for this one, like I said, and this is the canvas from, I believe, those 12 by 12 sheets that you can get either Michael's or Hobby Lobby. You can use like other materials such as burlap. I have this fabric elements. This is like a canvas sheet. It's 22 by 36 inches, and I got this on clearance at Joann's a couple years ago. And I'm going to be trying faux leather for this one because I will be using the Maggie Holmes Flourish collection. So I'm going to be using black as my spine. And the last thing you're gonna need, adhesive. I'm gonna be using, I left all my adhesive at my mom's house, so I'm gonna try this. The one that I use is the adhesive from the $2 bin at Joann's. It's like the best adhesive, not the best, but the cheapest best, because score tape is just as good, if not better. I'm not sure, but it's cheaper than score tape. The score tape, I think you can only get score tape online, and then you have to pay shipping, and then so getting it from the $2 bin at Joann's, you know, on sale with coupon is always going to be cheaper, and it's really good at strong adhesive. This one, I'm not sure if it's from the Joann's bin or if it's one that I got from the dollar store, or what's it called? What's that place called? Tuesday Morning. I don't know because it's open, so I don't know if it's from Joann's or not. But the ones from Joann, since I'm trying to cover a lot of space, I use the thicker one. And like I said, I left it at my mom's, so I'm gonna try this one. ATG should work fine. And you can also, for this, I think I'm gonna try my hot glue gun for this, because what else do I have? I don't have anything else. I wish I had Martha's glue right now, but this thing dried up on me, so it's like it's dead. This is basically like your hot glue gun, but cold. So it's liquid silicone, and it's really good glue, but I just haven't had the chance to order some more from her. So I'm going to be just using what I have. And the last thing you're going to need is Tyvek. Tyvek, I think you can purchase it separately, but I'm going to be using these mailing envelopes from the post office that I get. Well, I get for mailing, but I have, you know, I had them, so I'm going to use them. So basically, this is like the paper-like envelopes that, you know, it seems really cheap, but it's actually very sturdy. Like, it's really thin. It's like paper, but you can't rip it. So this is what's going to be going on here. So when it opens and closes, and when it creases, it doesn't tear over time, you know, opening and closing a book or journal, memory keeping journal, whatever you're going to use it for. So I'm going to be using this, and then your paper. So I'm going to be using this paper. So what else? Well, I was going to say something. I don't know. Give me just 1 second. Sorry guys, I don't have the edit function, and I still have my kids, so they still need me. Right, so I'm gonna be putting my cutting mat, and pretty sure I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember now. Can you see? Oh shoot! Don't fall. Okay. Okay, let me try to see if I have some red line tape, because I believe red line tape is as good as score tape. So I'm not sure if this is any good. I've never used them. Well, I mean, I've used it, but I haven't really compared it. So, and I'm not sure if this is actually the original Redline tape or not. But I have this one that's just thicker, so I'm gonna try this one also. Okay, so first thing is we're gonna measure up the chipboard and cut it. So like I said, I'm gonna see if writing it down helps. So I'm gonna be using this as my reference. So that we already said that the height is 7 inches. So I'm gonna be adding ½ an inch to that. So it's gonna be 7.5 by. Because I have to like the size. So I'm not gonna be using this because I think it's too wide. Let me see. 7.5. So maybe 4. Let's do 4 3/4, okay? Oops. And so the paper will be 7 by 4.5. Right? Right. Let me see. Yeah, because I'm only cutting off a 1/4 inch on this side. Okay. It'll make sense in a second. I'll be using my ruler for this. So the way I measure it in 3 spots in order to cut a straight line. So 4 3/4. 4 3/4. Can you see? 4 3/4. Let's see. The spine. Okay. Let me cut the spine first. What size do we want the spine to be? You choose, basically. This one is 1 inch and 3/4. I cut it at 1.5 inches, but it kind of looks like 1 3/4 after putting the fabric around. So 1.5 inches. Do we want it this thick for a smaller notebook? So no, I'm gonna make it smaller than 1.5 inches. So how big is 1 inch? Let me see. Let's do 1 inch, 1.25 inches. Okay. So we're gonna measure 1.25 inches. Wait, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one first because the spine should be enough on this side. 4, 8, 9. Yeah, it should be enough. So let me go ahead and cut this one first, because otherwise it's gonna be too long to cut. Where is my... Oh. So basically you line it up with your 3 points that you did, and that would be kind of like your straightest point. that makes sense. I'm not the best cutter, guys. I measure everything and then for some reason stuff still isn't straight. It's not the same size. Okay, so then I'm gonna use this other side just because I know this side's gonna be, you know, straight. And do the same thing because you need, this is gonna be your front cover. This is gonna be your back cover. 4 and 3. 4 and 3. 4 3/4. Okay, make sure you do them so where you can see them. I really hope I don't run out of battery halfway through this. Okay. Front and back cover. And then the spine will be 1 1.25 inches. Okay. Should I wing it? Okay. I'm just gonna measure. Doesn't even look like it's okay. Okay, here's the spine, and it's gonna be, we said 7. I should have done the 7 first, 7.5. That way I knew all 3 were going to be the same. That's what I was trying to do and I forgot. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Okay. So 7.5. Okay. I like to line it up to a line, any line, just so this one over here can line up to my cutting line. Okay. One more. Okay. Uh-oh, this one looks like I cut it too short. Dang it. It's fine. Okay, now you have your 3 pieces. Your front cover, back cover, and your spine. I'm going to go ahead and cut out my pieces of Tyvek. This doesn't have to be perfect. I don't even use my trimmer for this. Just basically try to give it like an inch on this side and an inch on this side. And just cut it with my scissors. You can do the Tyvek inside as well. I don't, just because it's gonna be thicker, because you're gonna wrap it with, you're gonna overlap it with your cardstock. So it's gonna be pretty thick. I didn't do it with any of my other notebooks that I did, and it turned out just fine. So this should be just fine. Alright, so yeah, this is gonna be the front. So what you're gonna do is gonna put the adhesive on the Tyvek, and let me go ahead and try this red line tape. I'm already at 22 minutes. Okay. It's stuck on the wrapper. Okay, so maybe it is good tape. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead. So just trying to make sure that it has good coverage. I think previously I did the adhesive on the chipboard, but I don't really think it matters. I'm going to use some of this smaller one. Just so I don't waste my other one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and press it with my score tool. I really hate taking the backings off of this. Okay. Let's see. So this is going to be my front. So I'm actually going to flip it around. I don't know if you can tell, but it's kind of bent on one side, kind of like, it's kind of like obvious that this is the backing. I don't know, I guess that's just how I feel. I feel like this side is smoother. So I'm gonna flip it around like this, because we're gonna stick it on this side. Okay. So you just, I'm gonna do the spine first. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now to put these two, I cut 2 pieces of the chipboard of my scraps, and I just glued them together. This is going to be basically the width, because I want the same width on each side, because it does need some space in between, so where it creases it doesn't like butt into each other. It does have like a little space in between, and you can eyeball it if you want. I just like to have the same space and an even space basically. So if you, I did two pieces together, so that's my width, and then try to line up the spine with the covers. And then the same for this one. Like I said, nothing I make is ever straight, so it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be perfect. This one definitely did not line up well. Okay. Then you can go ahead and press it with your score tool, your bone folder, and then kind of do the crease in here. So that's your cover. Alright, and it's bothering me, guys. I can see that this is a little bit more out. I mean, it doesn't matter, but it still bothers me. Okay, so for this cover, I rounded the corners. You can go ahead and do that. You can do it before or after you put your paper, doesn't matter. Around the corners. For this one, I will not be rounding the corners. So I was just letting you know you can go ahead and do that, because just in case that's what you like, but I will not be doing it. You won't see me do that for this journal, but that's an option to round the corners. And I'm going to go ahead and stop the video at this point, and I will be back with video number 2 for covering it with the cardstock. And yeah, I hope you follow on, and any questions, comment below, and I will try to answer them as best as I can. So I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.